Hello everyone, welcome again. Speech is a formal talk that a person delivers to his or her audience. Writing is another form of communication, which is different from speech. Here in this episode, I am going to discuss a combination of these two, that is, speech writing. If we ask these questions, do we speak the way we write, or do we write the way we speak? The obvious answer is no. We do not speak the way we write. We do not write the way we speak. We must know that spoken and written language differ in many ways. In writing, we are more formal in language and structure. We have the liberty to correct our grammar, sentence structure, or organization of our thoughts. But in a speech, we don't have that liberty. Once the words are uttered, they are gone. Of course, you may correct them, but they go down as corrections. In a speech, we usually use informal language. We do not use complete sentences unless it is recorded. Although making speech is a spoken activity, for the purpose of testing, students will be given a topic to write a speech on. In CBSE, there will be a question for 10 marks on speech writing. In the state syllabus for second PU students, there will be a question for 5 marks on speech writing. So let us learn it thoroughly. In next 5 to 10 minutes, I'm going to discuss with you the elements of speech writing, some topics, examples, and the format of the speech writing. Let's get started. Number 1, use first person I to communicate your ideas. Have a look at this famous speech.
I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation.
This is one of the famous speeches of Dr. Martin Luther King. I have taken this example to demonstrate how we must write a speech. How he begins his speech, you might have noticed. I am happy to join with you today. He begins with the first person I. That is how we have to begin our speech, with the first person I. Number 2, addressing the audience. We must know who our audience are, and we must connect with them. We must be in a position to understand what they have come to listen to. That will make a speaker more successful. Knowing your audience will always help you to be accurate and appropriate to that particular audience. Third important aspect is introducing the topic. We must introduce the topic to our audience. If we go around talking, beating about the bush, without mentioning the topic, audience may lose their patience. They might be wondering what the person is talking about. It's always better to introduce the topic. Make them know that you are going to talk about that particular thing. So that will always be nice, more appropriate, and more coherent, so that audience will join with you and listen to you carefully. Fourth important item is the purpose of your speech. What was the purpose of Dr. Martin Luther King's speech? He called for civil rights. He called for economic and civil right, and he called for freedom. Have a look at this.
We will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day.
The last thing in speech writing is conclusion. We have to conclude our speech in such a way that we leave audience happy. They must feel happy after listening to you. We must thank our audience at the end. So ending our speech with a thank you is a must. After going through the elements of speech writing, let us take up some topics. These are imaginary situations. Imagine and write a speech on these situations. Number 1, regular practice of yoga can help in maintaining good health. Write a speech in 150 to 200 words to be delivered in the morning assembly on the usefulness of yoga. Number 2, media has a strong hold on society. Write a speech in 150 to 200 words on how media influences public opinion. Number 3, in order to promote reading habits, your college has organized a library week. You are the secretary of the college union. You have to speak to the audience about the week-long program. Let us take up the last one in order to demonstrate how a speech can be written. A library week. When we got the topic, it's our time now to think about it and make points. What are the points that we can include in that particular speech on a particular topic? When we have got a topic like this, now we can write something like this. Days and dates, new arrival on display, exhibition of books, famous authors or famous personalities who are going to visit a library week, more facilities in the libraries, new magazines that may have arrived for this particular occasion. So make these points in your mind. Elaborate on these points in order to develop a meaningful speech. Let us see that now. Here is an example worked out for you. The speech begins this way. Dear friends, it gives me great pleasure to speak to you about the library week that our college has organized from 2nd to 10th November this year. Reading makes a man perfect. The aim of celebrating this week is to inculcate the reading habit among students. As part of the celebration, new arrivals in the reference section such as encyclopedia and dictionaries and general books will be displayed. Sapna Book House and Cambridge University Press are putting up an exhibition. We have invited Dr. Shobha Devi to inaugurate the exhibition and interact with the students. Other authors like Srimati Shashi Deshpande and Dr. Patil will also pay us a visit. During the week, a literary quiz competition will be organized. The reading section will have more new magazines of general interest. I request all of you to spend as much free time in the library as you can. Thank you. The speech that we have seen just now has all the 5 elements of a speech writing. Instead of I, me is used. It gives me great pleasure, something like that. And secondly, it addresses the gathering properly. Number 3, the speaker introduces the topic appropriately. Number 4, and the speaker is very much aware of the purpose for which he is speaking. More importantly, he concludes the speech well. I hope this example may help you to organize your speech better. See you in the next class.